Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Week 7 of the Oceanic Challenger Series. My name is Max Rogi for Foglia. Joining me on the desk, which seems like it's been a while.
It's been ages. What
is
have you
Nathan
been?
Mendrix Mendez. And we
It's good
have
to be
a
back.
bunch of potentially epic games in terms of how they can affect the standings, because a lot of tiebreakers could be coming up today.
It'd be a massive amount of tiebreakers. They're looking at specifically Legacy Genesis versus Sentinels.
Yeah, that's that game. Like Legacy Genesis, they've been all over the shop throughout Split 1 here of the Challenger Series.
Yes.
We predicted them to be one of the highest standing teams, but as you can see, they're sitting all the way down in 7th, so not looking to crash hot out of them. But the first game of the day, it's the thing that could really set off this chain of events is going to be Legion Gaming taking on Alpha Sydney. And then that could potentially, if Legion Gaming, they're yet to win a game, but they could throw a massive spanner in the works here, put Alpha Sydney down to 3-4. Then we mentioned later on, if Legacy Genesis beats Sentinels, that's 3 teams on 3-4.
And what a way to make an impact in this competition.
Yeah.
Like, sure enough, at the very end, we pull off an upset, we win the game, and then we set up this whole proposition of tiebreakers for everyone to have to worry about. That would be just amazing, because, we're talking about extra games tomorrow. Who loves extra games? I love extra games.
Definitely worth to mention. Don't forget the tiebreakers, should we have any, are going to be right here, 6 p.m. tomorrow. Same type of deal, same beautiful casters, and hopefully a bunch of the same teams getting it underway. But yeah, Legion Gaming, they're yet to pick up a win just yet, so it will mean that they will be relegated at the end of this split, but this is their time to learn as much as they can. Alpha Sydney, a team who came out of the gates very strong, but have yet to really get past that middle of the pack spot.
Exactly, and like you said, this is their opportunity to learn, and it is a great learning experience. If you look at Chiefs Black, sure, they've won every single game in this entire split so
they're doing
far,
well.
And they're doing really well. But it means it's hard for them to look at it objectively and go, well, hey, what can we take from this game? What can we look at? How can we make sure we're even better if we do possibly make it into the OPL? Whereas Legion Gaming have so much to work off, so much to work off in the next split when it comes around, because if they do perform really well, make sure they get themselves into the next split, we're talking about them saying, okay, we know we're weak here, we know we're strong here, we know what we need to work on. This is our split to take control of. And this is why you get involved in it. You talk about going, like, why would they compete if they're losing? Well, you know what? It's a learning experience. It means they come back stronger every single time.
No, you're exactly right. It's very hard to find the top-level competitors just on solo queue and as much as you can learn here. But going into today's games, we have Alpha Sydney taking on Legion. Like we mentioned, Legion, the potential to completely upset the standing here. Then later on, the title fight, Abyss Red taking on Chiefs Black. Then later on in the night, we're going to be having Hysterics and Preacher bringing you Abyss White versus Fortnite. Definitely going to be another game and another upset. Today is going to be crazy with Sentinel Esports taking on Legacy Genesis. Let's hope that Legacy can kind of retrieve some of their former glory.
Exactly, and this is their last chance to really make sure they're still going to be in the tournament. Because by taking them out, that means that they actually force that almost 3-way tie between them, especially if they get that Legion Gaming doing that upset. But looking at the teams coming up now, we do have Alpha Sydney. They've got Frogger in that top lane, Only in the jungle, BTK in the mid, Blinky in the bot lane, and Luna is there along with him.
Yeah, and then the side of Legion, you got Rare, Otherness, L8S, Visionary, and Dalton. So, do my eyes deceive me, or do I see more new players on the side of Legion Gaming here, Mendrix?
So we're talking about learning. It also is a learning experience when you have new players to, create new synergies with, learn with them as well. Because if you think, okay, finally this is the team we want to work with, you need to make sure they are experienced in these sort of these online tournaments, and this is the best way to do it. Because now they're going, okay, we've had a few come around. Visionary's still there.
Yep. Good.
Welcome back, dear friends. So that's going to be good coming across, but you really need to test these new guys out and make sure they know exactly what's happening.
It's going to be definitely interesting to see how another new Legion roster goes. Hopefully this can be the winning dynamic, the team that finally takes the Legion team home a win. So it's all going to be on the back of them. Alpha Sydney, though, they've kept that consistent lineup. Frogger in the top, such an absolute beast.
Yeah, exactly. And he is a menace when he picks up those massive tanky top laners. The Nautilus, he shows amazing play there. So I'm really excited to see what he actually does this game and how much you can pull out against the team. And especially because, again, we have new players.
Yeah.
This means we have an amazing mystery meat that they're bringing to it. Who knows what Alpha Sydney are up against? They don't have the same players to go, okay, we know their weakness is here and there.
Sure.
These guys are completely blank slates, except for Visionary. But that means that they have an opportunity to catch them off guard and really pull off this upset we want to see.
Well, last time we saw Legion with a brand new squad, they got absolutely demolished. All comes back to Hulk just getting out-jungled at every single corner. So hopefully now that they've picked up someone new, maybe he's a little bit more confident, maybe more confident in that jungle position to fight off any potential invaders, maybe make a few of his own. So I'm really interested to see if they've improved some of the issues. We mentioned earlier that it's easy. When you win a game, it's very hard to spot what we did wrong that game if everything went right. So Chiefs Black, they've obviously been on top of the leaderboard since the first week, and they're still there, 6-0, pretty impressive. But they go back into it, and they think, okay, we did everything right, and we won. What can we improve on? I don't know. But when you got Legion, they're saying, okay, it was obvious. We got counter-jungled, our lanes were pushed in, our dragon timings were bad, we didn't teamfire the right location, so hopefully they've kind of identified these problems, and maybe these new players are the key to fixing them.
And the other thing you also have to look at with these new players is that they also might have really good synergy together already.
Okay.
So you might be taking... We talked about these guys before being a new team.
Yep.
They might have better synergy because they've been playing together. Same sort of situation. These guys could be complete black horses in this competition. I mean, sure enough, it is a bit late to bring them in. But that being said, it will create such... It's a better late than never. It will create such a mix-up in the standings if they take a win off Alpha Sydney.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see if that happens, because that just means more League of Legends actions for you guys tomorrow. And that's what we're here for, guys, just bringing you all the best a challenger scene has to offer. But let's just shy away from this game and talk about the heavyweight of tonight. Abyss Red. They came into the start of the tournament looking pretty shaky, but have improved week on week to become one of the top contenders for that #2 spot. Obviously, no one's going to be taking it off the Chiefs just yet, but I'm really excited to see if they can take it to the #1 team and show us what all this hard work has been culminating to.
Is it going to be one of those cases where finally they take a game off Chiefs Black?
Someone's going to do it.
Someone's going to do it at some point. This is their opportunity to do so. Otherwise, it sets up the biggest fall for the finals, which, I mean, if they manage to take it and go perfect through Chiefs Black, what an amazing performance from them. That would be extremely impressive. But Abyss Red, they do not count them out. If they manage, they're on point. They're playing well. They have a lot more experience in comparison to all the other teams out there at the moment. We're talking a great game coming up after Alpha Sydney versus Legion Gaming. But it's going to be an upset if they do win. I mean, 6-0 at the moment. They're looking for that lucky #7, Chiefs Black. Yeah,
I feel like Chiefs, most of the games are decided in that pick and ban phase. They always seem to get what they want, and they're very rarely contested for picks. Basically, they know what they want, and they get it. They can work with those Tier 2 champions so well. So it's going to be up to Abyss Red to kind of beat them at their own game. We know their mid laner, he likes to play a lot of these farm-heavy jungles, just get massive amounts of gold, and then just run away with the game. So if they take him off a comfort pick, can he really react to that? Maybe pick up an assassin here.
What I like about Chiefs Black, and this is the big thing about it, you're talking about them being able to farm, maybe go for, because Omni is actually known for having assassins.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's able to just go, no worries, I'll take a control mage this time around, is absolutely amazing with that there. But what I love about Chiefs Black is they're just solid across the whole board.
Yeah,
you can pretty much leave each lane to its own devices, and they will come out on top. Add to the fact that you've got such a versatile jungler that can go for that sort of carry role, or choose to go for a more support jungle role, means that they're more versatile in the pace of the game. If they're losing, they can slow it down a little bit and then bring it back later. And if they're winning, they can just take it to them. And apparently from what these guys tend to do, they're always 3k up, roughly around that 15, 20-minute mark. It's just something they just do.
They've all got TF passive.
Exactly. They've all got that passive, or they're all gangplanks with barrels hiding somewhere, just getting free extra gold off the side, just stacking up paper all along the entire map, along the entire
Getting some of that coinage. The Silver Serpents.
Exactly. And it's just they're just so amazing at eking out these little advantages. And then once they get that critical mass, just hit that go button and just take out their opponent. And that's what they're so good at. And I really want to see them actually be at a point where they're behind and they come back. So that's something that I haven't seen before happen with Chiefs Black, because they've just been dominating the competition.
Yeah, you're exactly right. No one's really brought to them a challenge. They've always been ahead of that early stages in the game, then really had no way to test what they can play from behind. And a lot of teams do tend to fault when you're that good, and then someone comes and breaks that record, and you think, crap, what do we do? We're behind. We can't push the advantages we're used to pushing. So Abyss Red, though, how are they going to identify Chiefs' weaknesses here? It doesn't seem like they have any against this level of competition.
They really don't right now. They really are, in terms of in the level that they're at, one of the best teams to have out there.
Oh, definitely the best.
Well, they are the best. Like 6-0. I can't be like.
We can't argue with the results,
just like the stats speak for themselves, guys. So, what Abyss Red need to do is really identify, okay, what is their weak point at the moment? What is their strong point? You can easily say the strongest point in their team would be their bot lane, because Rosie and Zero are just amazing.
Yeah.
They are like, those guys just to seem like level 2, even level 1, they just see an opportunity, they take it. They will chunk you out and absolutely zone you a farm. If, it's either one of the two. Either you die, or you're going to get zoned off farm, and they're going to chunk you out. That's essentially what these guys do when they're in that bottom lane. They always seem to be making plays, and it just seems to be the lane to watch when these guys are playing. Add to the fact that everyone else is going to be well, add to the fact that they're all solid in their own regard, it means their jungler is just free to just move around. So what you would have to do is go, okay, we need to play around that bot lane. We don't want to fight them at all, because we saw it happen before where it was an advantageous lane for them to not to lane swap into or to leave happen, and they decided, you know what, they're just too good when they had Kog'Maw. We need to not fight them. We don't want to do that. So what you'll find that they'll do is they'll go, all right, we need to find a lane swap to not fight with them.
Sure.
That speeds up the game, sort of throws Chiefs Black off. That's what Abyss Red needs to do. Find the lane swap that they want to have and make sure they've got a team composition that favors that lane swap. I reckon that's their way to beat Chiefs Black, because it means that the game no longer takes the pace that Chiefs Black like to go for, and it ends up throwing them a little bit off towards that mid game where they just seem to run away with the game.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of issues here, but we are going to go to a quick break, but we should be back very shortly.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die, looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly if we scream no. This is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us roll till no one knows. We'll never grow. Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die, looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly if we scream no. This is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us roll till no one knows. We'll never grow.